supreme basilisk of all mankind, we come now to say thank you for allowing us to gather for this 2023 Achievement Week banquet. We thank you for bringing our family back together. We come to acknowledge and celebrate individuals who have sacrificed to make a difference in the lives of the community. We also gather to be reminded of what it costs to make a difference in the lives of others. Thank you for the many honors bestowed upon us. You said in your word to love everybody as I have loved you, and people will know that you are my disciples. We are your disciples. We want to please you. We want to thank you for the history that catapults us to success and victory over racial injustices. We said thank you for these honorees and their families. We know that service requires sacrifice from our families as well. We're grateful for their love and encouragement as we stand to make good trouble that inspires others, good trouble that stands for truth and justice, good trouble that infuses our young people with courage. We ask you to be with Mayor Stephen L. Reed as he shares with us today and charges us with clarity on how we can make a difference to impact others. We love and honor you. In Jesus' name we pray. Let our hearts say together with a smile, amen. Amen.
In 1921, the roots of what we now celebrate as Achievement Week were planted by the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, championing the cause Brother Carter G. Woodson called to explore Negro history and literature. Proudly, our very own 8 Omega chapter was an integral part of the pioneer endeavor. When Brother Woodson's Negro History Week took flight in February 1926, the fraternity, inspired by this momentum, decided to establish its own annual Negro Achievement Week in November. This tradition aimed to honor those making significant strides in enhancing the lives of African Americans. Since 1928, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and our 8 Omega chapter have steadfastly observed Achievement Week. The objectives of the International Achievement Week are to focus attention on outstanding achievement, not only by giving appropriate recognition to those who have achieved, but also by stimulating others to gain even higher eminence. To implement our democratic way of life by emphasizing that all people must be judged by their accomplishments and their service to mankind, regardless of nationality, religion, or race. To raise the prestige of Omega by providing a worthwhile project to our own chapter may direct its energies. This united effort should stimulate and enrich the communities where Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated chapters are located.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. On behalf of 8 Omega chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, I wish to express my profound gratitude for your presence with us this evening as we celebrate, I'll say it again, as we celebrate the outstanding Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated International Achievement Week program. I would like to express my sincere gratitude and compliments to the co-chairs, Brothers Robert Earl Wilson Sr. and Brother Jahi Polk Sr., along with their committee members for diligently organizing this outstanding program. We acknowledge and appreciate Brother Ricky Lewis, our 42nd Grand Basilisk of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, our first Vice Grand Basilisk, Brother Mark E. Jackson, 7th District Representative, Brother Christopher Brooks, and Georgia State Representative, Brother David Jones, and a host of other distinguished Omega brothers, guests, and friends for supporting our outstanding fraternity and chapter. Their support is paramount and significant to the principles set forth by fraternity leaders 112 years ago. We are here this evening to recognize individuals who have made a difference in our lives for the better. Their commitment to support their respective communities are noteworthy, and we, 8 Omega Chapter and Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, are honored to recognize each one. Let's enjoy this evening, ladies and gentlemen, of celebration and recognition, together as well as a special treat in receiving a message from an outstanding Omega man, a Morehouse man, a history-making mayor of a city in the Deep South, who was successfully re-elected to serve back-to-back terms, and who's working to improve the collective lives of his community. We again thank you for joining us this evening for our annual Achievement Week program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brother Alex DeMond to the stage to present our essay award winner.
Good evening again. I do not like public speaking, so forgive me in advance. Protocol having been established, I would like to say good evening to all. Right? And I would like to take a second to thank the judges, Dr. Chantel Parker Pitt, Mr. Brock Mayers, Reverend Wendy Torres, and Ms. Diana Spencer. Are any of the judges here? Please give a round of applause. This year's essay contest winner is a senior at South Atlanta High School and a member of the Senior Advisory Council as well as a student ambassador. He is also a young Black entrepreneur who runs his own business, Marquis Sweets, where he creates desserts, tables, and other exquisite treats. His passions include cooking, graphic design, shopping, and service projects in his community. In the future, he hopes to pursue his entrepreneurship dream of owning his own store and majoring in interior design at Valdosta State University. And I want to take a second of personal privilege. I will say this, I've been doing this for about 5 years, and for the first time in the history, I sent out the essay in August. I got a response back in a week. It's never happened. The deadline is October 20th, and I get 1 million essays October 20th. I said, there's no way this young man can win. He did the essay too fast. And I sent him an essay, he sent it right back. I sent him an email, I said, you made this fool because he keeps emailing me right away. And so that's all we feel about this man. I knew he was special by that. With a 385 out of a possible 400, so far the highest score I've had as an essay person, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to name the Ada Omega chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated's 2023 Dr. Moses C. Norman Essay Award winner, Mr. Kanari Leonard.
Good evening. In 1945, J. Austin Atkins of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Dewey Duckett of Rock Hill, South Carolina, had a vision of creating a venue through Omega Psi Phi fraternity where gifted African-American youth would be able to express their talents where other opportunities may not be available. From this vision, the first Omega Psi Phi talent hunt was held in the 6th District in Charlotte, North Carolina on April 19, 1946. As a result of the tremendous success of the program, due to overwhelming community interest and scholarship assistance, the talent hunt made its national debut
at the 1953 Grand Conclave in Cincinnati, Ohio. The program featured winners of local and regional talent contests. Here at Eta Omega chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, the talent hunt has been synonymous with Dr. Alfred D. Wyatt Sr. For over 62 years, Dr. Wyatt chaired or co-chaired the Talent Hunt Committee, and in 1985 was selected by then Grand Basileus Dr. Moses C. Norman as the International Talent Hunt Committee Chair. In 2015, Eta Omega chapter voted to name the award given for its winner, the Dr. Alfred Wyatt Senior Talent Hunt Award. On September 30th of this year, 6 weeks ago, Dr. Wyatt ascended from this earthly realm, but his memory will continue to live in the advancement of music education and music performance. This year's winner is a student at Drew Charter School who is quite an accomplished saxophonist. Not only has he won the Eta Omega competition, but he has also placed first in the state competition and is scheduled to compete in the district competition on April 4th of 2024. It gives me great pleasure and privilege to present the 2023 Dr. Alfred D. Wyatt Sr. Talent Hunt Award to Mr. Najim Muhammad. At this time, Brother David Spencer will bless our food.
Listen, let's be clear on something. Don't act brand new. Now you know they always serve salad before the prayer. Exactly. So don't be looking all up here like you should have did that earlier, brother preacher. Don't play me today. Let's go in and pray, y'all. Lord, we said thank you for the food we're about to receive, for the nourishing needs of our bodies. Thank you for those that prepared it. Thank you for the food we have received already. We love you. We honor you. Be with us in the celebration. In Jesus' name we pray. Let everyone say amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you're enjoying your meal, please don't stop on my behalf, but I do want to bring something to everyone's attention. Just a moment ago, some of our brothers were passing out something to every attendee at this evening's banquet. There is a Eta Omega chapter coin, an Achievement Week banquet coin, if you will, two-sided coin that was given to every guest. This is just a small token of appreciation to every attendee for joining us this evening and supporting our program. And a little something to remember this evening's event by. It's a special evening for us, and again, we're celebrating. We just wanted this little token of appreciation to be a memory jogger for you in the future as you tell the stories of all the talent and wisdom that was shared here this evening. You can use this as a memory jogger, and you can share this with your friends and family. So thank you all for, again, attending this evening.
As you enjoy your meal, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back up here again because our winner did not have the privilege of having his parents here during that presentation, so we're going to redo it for his parents. In 1945, Brother J. Austin Atkins of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Dewey Duckett of Rock Hill, South Carolina, had a vision of creating a venue through Omega Psi fraternity for gifted African-American youth would be able to express their talents where other opportunities may not be available. From this vision, the first Omega Psi Phi Talent Hunt was held in the 6th District in Charlotte, North Carolina on April 19th, 1946. As a result of the tremendous success of the program due to overwhelming community interest and scholarship assistance, the Talent Hunt was made its national debut at the 1953 Grand Conclave in Cincinnati, Ohio. The program featured local and regional winners of the contest. Here at Eta Omega chapter of Omega Psi fraternity, the Talent Hunt has been synonymous with Dr. Alfred D. Wyatt Sr. For over 62 years, Dr. Wyatt chaired or co-chaired the Talent Hunt Committee, and in 1985 was selected by then Grand Basileus Dr. Moses C. Norman as the International Talent Hunt Committee Chair. In 2015, Eta Omega chapter voted to name the award given for its competition winner the Dr. Alfred D. Wyatt Sr. Talent Hunt Award. On September 30th of this year, 6 weeks ago, Dr. Wyatt ascended from this earthly realm, but his memory will continue to live in the advancement of music education and music performance. This year's winner is a student at Drew Charter School who is quite an accomplished saxophonist. Not only has he won the Eta Omega competition, but he has placed first in the state competition and is due to compete in the district competition on April 4th, 2024. It is my honor and privilege to present the 2023 Dr. Alfred D. Wyatt Sr. Talent Hunt Award to Mr. Majim Muhammad. That's even better picture. Yep. Thank you, brother. I got you, right? And now we have a poem by Brother Myron Broom. Where's Brother Broom? Here's Brother Broom.
Paul Lawrence Dunbar is a well-recited and known author in Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He is the first author to use standard American English as well as Black dialect in literature. Tonight, I have humbly repurposed his poem, Unsung Heroes, and fashioned it in honor of the men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I present to you a song for the men of Omega. A song for the men of Omega, who initiated not members, but men. A mysterious wonder of blood and thunder, never lacking now or then, with an earnest, ever-just vision and voice to see it through. 3 musketeer youths favored the truth and lived nobly as all real men do. From a holy, friendly city, on the same street they approached, their swords sharpened and visor opened without fear and without reproach. They traversed the storied campus with scholarship as their might, for thorough discussion of pen and discussion for ritual, rule, and right. Records were kept on scraps of paper, with captains as scribe and clerk. Each accountable, the author is responsible for all faults in this work. They fought hard against the germ. They fought harder for the gem. Aspirations high urged others draw nigh, the best and brightest of them. McMurray's granted war chapter, and Camp Howard knew their story. They advanced in France against the German blitz in great wars for America's glory. With valor and vigilance they charged, bravely into the unknown. Brothers died by scores on many foreign shores for freedoms they had not at home. Some went down to the river that chilled the body to the bone. Like a watery grave, 2 fair-haired knaves when hope was all but gone. Some went down to the river, gatekeepers both young and old, spared no cost to reclaim those lost and brought them back to the fold. O supreme bossless of creation, thou who made us all divine, them potters learned steps where discretion was kept by sons of our eternal shrine. Yes, prophets taught each one the traditions and tenets to toe. Pack no pleasures of worldly treasures, or only strangers shall you know. Moses C. Norman led the legacy, and Wyatt Sr., the talented 10th. Porter sang Omega dear, soulful and clear, and Smitty served with strength. Doss Jackson was the sacred star, who shined so heavenly and bright. For the few who dared climb the old wooden stair where there ain't been no light. A song for the men of Omega, who endured without an end. No greater love known than a man hath shown and laid his life down for a friend. A song for the men of Omega, who sang with red-rimmed eyes, who forever dreamed of grass so green with gold boots and purple skies. Thank you.
Good evening. Got the hardest job of the night, following up broom. My name is Jahi Polk Sr., and I'll be introducing the speaker. This speaker had inauguration events this weekend, actually today, that he is not at so that he could be here with us. Our speaker is the current mayor of Montgomery. This is the same Montgomery, Birmingham, where we struggled to find seats on a bus, but also the same Montgomery where we handed out seats at a dock earlier this year. Born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama, Mayor Stephen L. Reed stands as a testament to the city's rich heritage and a product of its esteemed public school system. Mayor Reed's unwavering commitment to fostering a more equitable and inclusive community has been a guiding force behind his transformative leadership. As the visionary leader of Montgomery, Mayor Reed envisions the city as a pioneering force in the New South, embodying progress and unity. His tenure has been marked by historic achievements, including spearheading job growth initiatives and successfully championing a groundbreaking ballot initiative to infuse much-needed investment into Montgomery's public school system after a lapse over 4 decades. A staunch advocate of public safety and collaborative neighborhood efforts, Mayor Reed has not only reduced crime, but also strengthened the bonds between police forces and citizens they serve. His decisive re-election on August 22nd, 2023, for a second term attests to the trust and confidence the community places in his ability to lead Montgomery towards a brighter future. Mayor Reed's commitment extends to his economic empowerment, with a focus on supporting small and minority-owned businesses. Through intentional city planning, he aims to revitalize community hubs, ensuring that every citizen has the opportunity to live, learn, and earn in a thriving environment. A lifelong public servant, Mayor Reed has made history as Montgomery's first Black and youngest elected probate judge. His accolades, including being named the 2023 Mayor of the Year by the National Black Chamber of Commerce, highlights his outstanding contributions to governmental service and leadership. Beyond his civic engagements, Mayor Reed is an accomplished author, offering insights into his journey in his memoir, First Best: Lessons in Leadership and Legacy from Today's Civil Rights Movement. His dedication extends to volunteering and serving on the boards of organizations such as Trustmark Bank, Valiant Cross Academy, and the YMCA of Greater Montgomery. Montgomery's journey under Mayor Stephen L. Reed's guidance is a testament to his passion for progress and commitment to community and dedication to creating the city where opportunities abound for all of its citizens. I'd like you all to start clapping right now and put your hands together for our speaker, Mayor Stephen L. Reed.
Talk about following up for the broom. Now I gotta follow that up. Y'all gonna get me in trouble in here, and I was just sipping wine because I knew I had to talk. So I couldn't really drink it like I normally would. All I needed was a white folding chair to really set this off. Absolutely. Nicole Hannah-Jones from the 1619 Project was just in Montgomery 2 days ago. It sparked a little interest with her post on social media. For those of you who've read the 1619 Project, are familiar with that, you know how she feels about things. And so It is really great to, be the mayor of a city where, viral moments now define things as much as any policy project or initiative that you may have. I didn't come here to really talk about that. But since Brother Pope, just signified it, it's interesting because this week some charges were filed against the co-captain, Damien, and got a lot of questions about that. And I said, well, look, a charge isn't a conviction. So you have the right to do that in any circumstance, but it wasn't the city. It was one of the other gentlemen who found out the wrong way that 2023 in 1963. So a lot of things done changed, including what the mayor looks like. It is truly great to be here with you. See so many friends, classmates, just so many people who have made a tremendous impact, not only on the city of Atlanta, but the state of Georgia and throughout this nation. And I think when we're here for Achievement Week, it's important for us not only to recognize the young talent through scholarships and through highlighting what they have done and the positive examples that they're setting, but also those who continue to set an example. And so, to Brother Wilson and Brother Polk, who are the co-chairs of this of this committee, and to my friend Mo Bodie is what we called him at Morehouse. I know he is now Brother Maurice Bodie Jr. And all these things now. Basileus of this great chapter, thank you for your leadership, and to all the brothers on the dais and all of the brothers on the committee, thank you for the invitation. I especially want to say to my brother Joseph Robertson, who reached out to me for an invitation to come here. I'm grateful for that. Certainly seeing, again, that we have reached a status where 25 years in now for me in Spring 98, Theta Alpha chapter in Dallas, Texas, where we are no longer the young guns, so to speak. They look to us as kind of the old brothers in the room. It's really, really different. But there's some responsibility that comes with that. And, many men have left an indelible mark on humanity, not because of who they were or what they did, because of how they lived. And I think that's something for us to really take away. And it's the legacy of the founders of our esteemed fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, that we will be celebrating on November 17th. And when you think about the founders and what they envisioned, those three undergraduates along with their faculty advisor, someone who is giving them the strength and the courage to move forward, it's not lost on us, again, what Achievement Week should really be about. And when I think about the great chapter of Eta Omega, founded December the 1st, 1919, and you think about what was happening here in the Atlanta University Center, again, not anything that we should take lightly. I think it is the example of the founders of this chapter and the founders of our fraternity and those of so many other trailblazers that we must keep in mind during this time. And while I don't plan to be before you long, because I know it's been a long day, not just for me because of inaugural activities that we have, just because it's Sunday and there are a lot of things that you try to do outside of church in between time. But I just want to say that, we're here because ordinary men have done extraordinary things. And we have many of them in this room, and their legacies are tied to this chapter and tied to the city. And when I assumed the position of mayor 4 years ago of Montgomery, many of you came over. A lot of bros from around the country that came to celebrate that history making that we all did collectively. Because when you're running, you don't run by yourself. You run for an office with your family, your friends, your classmates, your church members, your neighbors, everyone. And certainly when you're asking people for money to help buy t-shirts and print signs and run radio and social media ads, it's significant. And so I was honored that so many of my brothers from not only Morehouse College, but also from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated around this country came to celebrate that with us. It was highlighted not only in our local paper, but even nationally in the press. And as the 57th mayor of this historic city, you know, we have a complex history around our past. And it's been highlighted again here recently, but it's one that still dominates the culture today. My father is a fraternity brother. He is Spring 61 Gamma Sigma chapter at Alabama State University, where he was the SGA president and led the sit-in movement of downtown lunch counters in 1960. He, along with 17 others, were suspended after they were arrested for integrating the lunch counters in downtown Montgomery, and only those that were from the state of Alabama at that time, after appealing, were allowed to be reinstated. The others were not allowed to come back and had to graduate from other colleges and universities. And I bring that up because, you know, there were countless times growing up and even as an adult when I would tell him that, you know, some of the pearls of wisdom that he would share with us were outdated. We didn't need to talk about that. Certainly, after President Obama was elected in 2008. And I felt like we had passed a certain threshold. Now, I never thought we were post-racial, but I felt like we had passed a certain threshold, only to see that so many of the things that have been talked about in the past are right before us. And when I think about not only legislation, but things that are happening economically and through the judiciary, it's something for us to pay attention to. And as the mayor of the capital city of Alabama, and as the first vice president of the African American Mayors Association, I would not be doing my part if I didn't talk a little bit about the landscape that's in front of us. You've got the mayors of the 4 largest cities that are all African American. That has never happened in this country's history. Don't think there are people who are just in love and celebrating that fact. No more than they're celebrating the fact that someone who is unapologetically black is standing before a city seal on Tuesday that says birthplace of the Confederacy and birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. And so I don't want us to take our eye off the ball in terms of what is really happening. And whether it's San Francisco with Mayor London Breed, who's been coming what I would call under unfair attack for what is happening in the Bay Area, as if it is all her fault, as if the macroeconomic conditions are her doing, is an issue. Whether it's our brother Eric Adams in New York City right now, who has been besieged by questions and now investigations, when over a year ago he mentioned to me that we weren't just going to be political, we were going to be economic mayors. We were going to be mayors that sought the agenda of Marion Barry, certainly of Maynard Jackson, to empower black entrepreneurs. I was surprised at that time when he told me that only 2% of New York City's $22 billion budget goes to black-owned businesses. Only 2%. And I asked him and I quizzed him questions about, well, all of this that black political and economic power I read about over the decades. And he said, well, you know, reading about it and talking about it and then doing something about it, all different things. And amongst mayors, most of us, if not all, of the mayors, whether it be across the South, the Midwest, the West Coast, all of us understand that we're inheriting a little bit of different scenario than those that came in the post-civil rights movement in the late 60s and early 70s. That it is our charge, it is our duty to make sure that not only are we using our political platform for policy, but that we're using our political platform to empower profit in the communities that have supported us and have stood by us. And so I want us to keep those things in mind as you read about headlines or you read about different stories that are taking place, because not all of what you see is really all that is going on. It's like an iceberg, it's just a tip. But we know that there's much more beneath the surface. And those are things that I want us to keep in mind just at a community level, because I think it's important whether you're here in Atlanta and you've been a part of the progress, not only of this city, but what it means to the Southeast, what it means to the nation, what it means globally, because of the uniqueness of this city and the uniqueness of many of you who are in this room and many who have been a part of Eta Omega chapter and what that has set as a blueprint for so many of us. And so I just want to say that this celebration, this Achievement Week observance, we understand is to give due recognition to those that are deserving, those who have been giving back. But there are things outside of the fraternity. There are things outside of our normal, necessary sphere of influence that we have to be willing to engage in. And I don't want us to think because we have gotten to a certain level of political prominence, corporate prominence, or we have made those strides that we have just made it, because we haven't. Each and every day there's someone willing to try to push back. And when you consider what is happening in the United States Congress, but more importantly, what is happening in the legislatures, and I urge you, if you're not paying attention to your legislatures, pay more attention to it. The Congress gets all the noise. The real work is being done state by state. And this is where the real rollbacks are coming in policy, in voting rights, in economic rights. This is where things are truly, truly happening. I spoke to the Seattle NAACP just a few weeks ago, and I said to those corporate leaders, we used to call them corporate Negroes back when I was in corporate America, that you occupy the C-suites and you occupy P&Ls that you have control over, but what are you doing with it? Boeing, Lockheed, Amazon, Google, so many, Microsoft, Starbucks, how are you utilizing it? And so now there's a push to roll back DEI. It's not just affirmative action rulings. It's now DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion lawsuits. And corporate America, after promising billions of dollars post-George Floyd, is shivering. And what I told them to do is that in the city where I'm from, Montgomery, Alabama, there was supposed to be a one-day bus boycott. And it was well coordinated, well strategized. And there was a preacher who was from Atlanta, Georgia, who was brought in really to calm the waters because the previous preacher at that church, a gentleman by the name of Vernon John, some of you may have heard about, was a rabble-rouser. And in the office of which I now sit, and I mean literally the office of which I now sit, the mayor at the time said that he had to go one way or the other. And so when you know those stories and you understand that a 26-year-old pastor is brought in, hasn't been in that position more than a year, Rev, he is thrust into it. I said, that's something to shiver about. When you don't have a black mayor, a black sheriff, a black police chief, you don't have any other protections that we have now. That's something to shiver about. But when you control billions of dollars in your budget and someone is threatening that because you go to an HBCU and you want to give interns from urban cores opportunities they otherwise would not have, or you want to go to colleges that are not represented, and you make the decision that we're going to cut the budget. I said, does it take more civil unrest in our cities for you not to do that? Or will we equivocate just because there are challenges that are being brought to the progress that has been made. And so, as I spoke to the group and spoke to them afterward, my charge was to them was that if you could have everyday people leading an economic movement for 381 days in Montgomery, Alabama, what would it really take you to make a sacrifice? What would it really take you to take a stand that your company or your firm on its own said they were going to do? No one said it would be easy. No one said it would be smooth. No one said it would be accepted by all. But what is your cause? What is your purpose in being in this job? And that's what I want all of us to think about, because when we look at our community, we know that it takes much more than events like this and many others that we have politically to address those concerns. It takes action. And quite frankly, as I talk to members of not only my community, but moving around this country, members of this city, this community, and many, many others, the question is, Mayor, what are you going to do? How are you going to make a difference? And how are you going to change things any differently than the person before you? And so we have to keep fighting, because we know there are battles that still need to be won. And so this isn't a day for us to be complacent. It's a day to celebrate the achievement, certainly, of what the founders and brothers of this organization stand for, but also to rededicate ourselves to eliminating the obstacles to more progress. All of us must work to make the future better for those generations of young people who just came up here and were awarded honors for what they have done. But when our community makes it possible for men to contribute their talent, we all gain from that. But that means that we have to sacrifice. That means we have to be willing to take the challenge. Whether it was the late Jesse Hill, Earl Graves Sr., Fred Gray, Ben Crump, Secretary of Defense General Lloyd Austin, or even change agents like Vernon Jordan. We have to make sure that we are not only wearing the colors, but we are following the line. We're following in their footsteps. Because what I see from so many young people that I speak to is that they want us to do more, not just talk more. And so when we think about equality, I want to make sure we don't get that confused with equity. And that means taking a stand. Because if you're 2 steps ahead and I'm 2 steps behind, and you take 2 steps and I take 2 steps, then you're still 2 steps ahead. We've got to make sure there's a level of equity in the work that we do. And I think that as a fraternity, we do great work. And I know as a chapter, you all have done transformational work. You've been named, as Boss has told me, International Graduate Chapter of the Year more than once. But Dr. King once said, justice is really love and calculation. Justice is love correcting that which revolts against love. And so if God uses people to do great things, then we must be willing to do those great things ourselves, irrespective of title, irrespective of status, or irrespective of economic placement. For when we are ready to give up because we think we are fighting alone, our faith and history tells us not to do that. I want us to make sure that we understand the free man walking the high road moves on faith in the righteousness of the position and takes the next step, trusting what he cannot prove, leaving the consequences to God. Keeping in mind, although principle of equality has always been self-evident, it has never been self-executing. And as an heir to the progress won by those who came before us, who provided me the clear path to become mayor of my city, my hometown, one of such significance, we must not only commemorate, but activate their cause to perfect our city, our state, and our nation. And I want us to remember as we go forward to improve our communities from this event, let us consider that we cannot forget those lessons from the past. Let us consider that as a new beginning, we must understand that the towers of inequality will not give way to the bridges of opportunity without our own acts of courage. There's a poem that I read way back when called Courage Brothers. Some of you may remember that. Allow us to understand that our pilot-like moment has led us through the darkness before and shall again as long as we exhibit the faith that's needed to confront the unchanged. Allow us to always be able to rise above narrow confines of our individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of humanity. Let us accomplish just one thing of significance, just 1% of what others did, so that our names will be read in the table of contents of the annals of mankind, where they will be highlighted, instead of listed in the index, where they're merely mentioned. History has shown that old political systems have a great last-minute breathing power, and the protectors of the status quo are on hand with their defibrillators to shock the system back to life, to keep it alive. Read that one more time. History has shown that the old political systems have a great last-minute breathing power, and the protectors of the status quo are on hand with their defibrillators to shock the system back to life in order to keep it alive. What's the point? Just when you think it's dead, you better make sure, because somebody's there to bring it back to life. And that's what I talked about just a few minutes ago. And so inequality is a sore in the body politic which must be moved before our community health can fully be realized. And so whether that's Atlanta, whether that's Decatur, College Park, Union City, Alpharetta, Fairburn, Noonan, Tyrone, any of the areas where you may live or any that I did not mention, this is what is happening right now. And so I want us to make sure that we allow this to be our lesson that there's always more that we can do as Omega men. There's always more that we can do as QX. There's always more that we can do as a community. But allow us to remember that change happens often through the unpretentious acts of everyday bravery and kindness of responsibility to mankind, service above one's own interests, and a willingness to expand our conception what is possible and just in love. Dr. Carter G. Woodson states, I saw on the website, that the men of scholarship lead the light of the world. This light only men of 8 Omega chapter shall carry, and carry it we will continue to do. But whether you're 8 Omega chapter or Theta Alpha chapter or Sigma Phi chapter or any other chapter, or if you're not Omega at all, we must all embrace this motto. We must all embrace this mantra. We must be willing to make the sacrifice. We must be willing to carry this light, even when it's stormy, even when it's cold, even when there are attempts to put the light out. We must be willing to carry that, because none of us have gotten here without others doing it at some other time. So I want to say to all of you, thank you for your work. Thank you for the service. Thank you for the example that you set, not only for myself, but for so many others who you don't know are looking at you, who are admiring the work that you have done, and who are saying, how can we do that right here in my community? Because whether you know it, there are people who are doing that of all ages. There are mayors doing it in all parts of this country. There are Omega men in all parts of the world looking at 8 Omega chapter and what you have done. And so may God bless the city of Atlanta, my city of Montgomery, Alabama, and certainly may God bless the United States. And to all those who have served, all the veterans in this room, happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you.
To my friend Steve from Mo back in the day, thank you for such a insightful, inspiring, and truthful word. Hopefully it struck the chord of the souls of the room, people in this room. And as a token of our appreciation, we just want to say thank you again, my brother, and present this to you.
as our Achievement Week speaker, Brother Stephen Reed, on this evening, November 12, 2023. Thank you again, my brother.
The 14th Amendment states in summary that all persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens. Therefore, all the rights established in our Constitution are enshrined by both life and limb. Yet black folks are the only folks in this great country of ours where we've had to have a constitutional amendment and a congressional act to ensure that the country we love never forgets that we are recognized as good citizens of this country and a credit to our community. Therefore, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated calls to attention the importance of our award for Citizen of the Year. Langston Longley is an educator. He's a Morehouse College graduate. He has degrees and certifications from Harvard University, National Principals Academy Fellowship. He is a part of the Wharton School of Business at the University of Virginia, Columbia University Summer Principals Academy. He is currently the principal of W.J. Scott Elementary and selected as Principal of the Year some time ago, but right now he is currently nominated for Principal of the Year for APS, that is Atlanta Public Schools. He established mental and health services and care at his school with a food pantry that serves the community free of charge. He has been a recipient of awards and accolades, Who's Who in Atlanta, 100 Black Men of Atlanta, Atlanta's Black 40 and Under, and he has received an accolation from White House Education Policy Briefing Committee. It should come as no surprise that he has received these awards and honors because he saw his parents do it. His father, Langston Longley, by the same name, was a proud Bohemian well-known for tireless and passionate work in the Miami area, community, and the world. He received proclamation from President Joe Biden to honor his commitment, dedication, energy, and effort for his works as a model citizen. He too has received college degrees from Queens College, Nassau, Bahamas, and Miami-Dade College, not to be outdone. His mother has received a bachelor's from St. Thomas University in Miami, a master's in leadership from Nova Southeastern University, and a doctorate in theology. When I say that my LB is better than yours, as a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, 8 Omega Chapter, he has been a member of the MOLI, Social and Action Committees, members at large, chair and co-chair of Centennial Cookout, Annual Purple and Gold Ball, and Talent Hunt. I'm no longer going to read this, and I won't be long. There was a man who found himself digging a hole. He kept digging, he kept digging, he kept digging, and kept digging. The sun was up, so he figured if he keeps digging, that he could get out. But the hole got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And he said, Supreme Bosses of the universe, please send somebody to help me. And so a stranger came by. And he said, stranger, can you help me, please? And the stranger says, no, I know you not. So the man kept digging and digging and digging and digging, and the hole got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. He said, Supreme Bosses of the universe, send somebody to help me. And an enemy came. He says, I know you my enemy, but can you help me out of this hole? And his enemy said, I'm glad you're in that hole, and push some more dirt on top of it. The sun was going down, so he kept digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. Then it got nighttime. The sun was gone. He said, Supreme Bosses of the universe, send somebody to help me. No one came. And he kept digging and digging and digging and digging, and it got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until his back gave out, his arms were tired, his head hurt, and he said, "Somebody help me, please." And then all the way up to the top, he heard a voice say, "Hey, what you doing down there?" It was his friend. He said, "I found myself early this morning digging this hole. I've tried to get out. Can you help me, please?" And his friend said, "Of course." And his friend jumped down in the hole with him. He said, "What are you doing? You were up there at the top. You could have thrown me a rope. You could have given me a ladder. You could have called for help. Why did you jump down in this hole with me?" And the friend said, "I know what got you in this hole. I know how you got in this hole. I know why you got in this hole. Because I have been in a hole too. I am down here to help you get out." And that is Jack B. He will help you get out. That is what a citizen does for our country, for our nation. That is what a man of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated will do. A husband, a father, a brother, and a friend. The two-time Citizen of the Year and the 2023 recipient of a prestigious and honorable award for our chapter, Brother Langston Mobley.
Are we doing photos? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, take one. Heck yeah, come on over here. Oh, this mic is on. Let me not see you. Three, two, one. One more. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, wait. Hell.
Hold on.
That's my mother. Sorry.
Good evening. First, I would like to, obviously if you raise properly, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, for blessing me. Always, my wife, and from where I get my life, my mother is here. Thank you very, very much. As you heard from my esteemed line brother, we do have a slogan going back and forth that we feel if you heard this poem, my LB is better than yours. We believe that. The funny thing is, I'll be very brief. I didn't know he was introducing me, and you know your line brothers when I gave him none of that information, but he knows it all because they've always been there, every single step, every accomplishment, every job, every application. We greatly appreciate that. I just would like to say for this award, first of all, thank you when it comes to citizenship. I think of Jackie Robinson, and life is not important except for the impact it has on others. That's something I've always taken to heart. That impact is one that I pay forward through service and citizenship, trying to affect my community. These colors and these letters in this shield, I take very, very seriously. For everyone in this room, I can say we earned this opportunity. Being a member of this fraternity is a blessing, one that I never forget, and I never allow anyone else to forget. If you are one of the athletes on my football team that I coach, one of the students in my school, or people in my community, you are well aware of the fact that I'm a member of this blessed fraternity. And it's not for boastful purposes, or it's not for why do you have nail, or why do you have posters up in your office or things, because I'm planting seeds. Because I know the blessing that I have, I need the entire community to know that I'm representative of a group of men who will do this work, who will go out and go everywhere to plant the seed. So when a child grows up and he sees those two colors, I remember him. That was my football coach. That was my principal. They were feeding people in my neighborhood. They were giving out food on the street. They were reading books to children. That is the color. They don't need to know my name. They don't need to remember who I am, but I need that connection to always go back to this group of people who have blessed me with so much so that way we can continue to go out into the community. For everyone, whether you're a member or not, each of us has an individual talent that we have. There are people who believe we have large parts, we have small parts, but everyone is responsible for doing their part. And if you do not do your part, whatever that uniquely is, it is not possible for it to get done. If you're waiting for someone else to do that service, if you're waiting for someone else to do that deed, it won't get done. You are uniquely positioned to be you and contributing to this world and society in only the way in which you can. I appreciate the opportunity to do my small part. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and my esteemed brothers. I am Brother Maurice Bodie Jr., 2001 Eta Omega Chapter, and it has been my profound honor to serve as the bossless of Eta Omega Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated over these past 2 years. Leading our chapter is no small feat, and the success of this endeavor hinges on the collaborative efforts of dedicated brothers. Our chapter is a testament to the strength derived from its diverse membership, each brother contributing unique qualities of dedication, experience, wisdom, integrity, ingenuity, and enthusiasm. Today, I am delighted to recognize a brother whose exceptional qualities embody the very essence of our chapter and fraternity. This brother is a constant source of inspiration, displaying a thirst for knowledge and a knack for innovative thinking. Frequently, he presents new ideas and approaches, demonstrating a commitment to continuous improvement. I recall his consistent use of the greeting taught by our esteemed brother Rod Prince, my brother. His warm salutations, whether in the morning, afternoon, or evening, always set a positive tone for our one-on-one interactions. My brother. Good morning, Brother Boss. My brother. Good afternoon, Brother Boss. My brother. Good evening, Brother Boss. My brother. My apologies for calling you at this time, Brother Boss. Then followed up with, I'm not going to keep you long, my brother. Then 30 to 90 minutes later. Beyond mere pleasantries, this brother played a pivotal role in advancing our chapter's capabilities. His thorough research and dedication were instrumental in implementing tools such as the OWL camera you see before you this evening, which was utilized for hybrid meetings and various payment platforms that he researched like Zelle, Cash App, Square, PayPal, and Venmo. His commitment goes beyond the ordinary, as evidenced by an instance where despite being in the emergency room after an accident, he called me to ensure our meeting minutes would be prepared for our executive meeting that following Monday. Like, why are we even on the phone right now? And this brother was reeling in pain at the time of this call. Such dedication is truly commendable. In his various roles, from co-chair of the Technology Committee to AKRS for the past 4 years, and now as chapter KRS, he has consistently demonstrated leadership and commitment. The list of his contributions to Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and Eta Omega Chapter is extensive. His unwavering dedication and outstanding contributions truly embody the spirit of our fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I invite you to join me in congratulating the recipient of this year's 2022-2023 Bossless Award, my brother, Brother Alex DeMond.
All right, so I didn't know I was winning this award. I'm completely shocked. I got nothing. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate all the brothers in the room for giving me this opportunity to be a member of this great and illustrious fraternity. That's all I got. Thank you so much.
Now breathe in.
I know, right? Hold it.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Man, oh boy, that's
Good evening. My name is Ernest Perry, and it's indeed my pleasure. Some things you just gotta let go. I am in a room of brothers, that's right. It's indeed my pleasure to announce the 2023 Superior Service Awardee for Eta Omega Chapter, Dominic Sebastian Thurston Sr. Dominic is an Atlanta native, educated in the Atlanta public school systems. He graduated from West Fulton High School in 1979. After high school, Dominic started his college education at Morehouse College, but later transferred to Southern Tech. In 1986, he was awarded a BS degree in mechanical engineering. Omega roots run strong in the Thurston family. His father, Henry Sr., was initiated in Eta Omega Chapter in 1972. His brother Henry Jr., deceased, was initiated at Psi Chapter, Morehouse College in 1984. Dominic is a family man, married to Lisa Thurston for over 30 years. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, active with the East Point College Park Chapter. They have 4 children, 3 sons, Xavier, Dominic II, Aaron, and a daughter, Sydney. Sydney is enrolled currently at Xavier University in New Orleans. And Dominic is a long-standing member of Christian Fellowship Baptist Church. During his membership, he served on the deacon board since 1984. While at Christian Fellowship Baptist, he was a leader in the Cub Scout troop and Boy Scout pack there. Dominic also coached youth, soccer, basketball, and baseball over the years. While witnessing firsthand the love for the traditions, history of Omega Psi Phi fraternity that was exhibited by both his father and his brother, and seeing the close bonds of friendship demonstrated by their countless fraternity brothers that they're associated with, Dominic had no doubt at all that he would be an Omega man also. So when the opportunity finally came to pledge with Eta Omega Chapter in 2005, the chapter where his father was initiated, he cherished that opportunity to become a member of the greatest fraternity in the world and embark on its own service, tradition of service and leadership. Brother Thurston came working right away into this chapter While serving as the chapter capable of finance, he worked to revise the financial reporting system that we use for further accountability and for greater budgeting purposes. He also served as the KRS, Vice Bosselus, and Bosselus, representing the chapter at state, district, and international grand conclaves. During his term as Bosselus, he led the push for the printing of a chapter directory since our membership began to grow. He also worked to coordinate the chapter branded folding chairs for tailgating in our fellowship outings. Also serving in 1981, serving for our 81st 7th district meeting, he served as the marshal. He also spearheaded to design of our signature gold blazers that you see many brothers wearing this evening. He also worked to customize the Centennial lapel pin that many brothers also have on this evening. On the state level, he was elected as a state KRS and served on the State Life Committee. Currently, he serves as the chairman of the Ada Omega Foundation, our 501c charitable organization. As a career, he's a 35-year career in property insurance and currently serves as the vice president of Global Catastrophe Claims Manager with Factory Mutual Insurance. He's a responsible, dedicated, professional, and Omega man, and it brings me great pleasure to introduce my brother, Dominic Thurston, as our Superior Service Award winner.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank God. I also want to thank my wife for all her support, because I wouldn't be able to support and be of service to the brothers without my wife. It was said that my father was initiated at Omega in 1973. He was Boone's blind brother. I don't know you know Brother Boone. He always talks about how he carried my father across the land. And I remember coming home one day and I saw in his den, all this purple and gold stuff. I didn't know anything about it till later on, but the seed was planted right then. Now, when I was at Morehouse, things didn't work out the way I wanted to join in, but when opportunity came later in life, I joined, and I'm trying to make up for that lost time. That lost time in serving. That's what the brother said. But I understand that we have some people who may be interested in joining our fraternity in attendance. And all I want to say is, being a part of this fraternity is about service. About service. Brother Reed talked about things that are going on in our nation, in the legislation houses and the school boards and things of that nature, where we need to pay attention to be of service. Because Omega, when you think about it, we've been about a service since we've been around. And that's what it's all about, brothers. And I'll continue to serve our great fraternity. Thank you, brothers. Turn the page for everybody else.
His brother just said you served, right? My name is Robert Wilson III. Do not confuse me with my son, Robert Wilson Sr. You'll get that on the way home. The nominee for the Founders Lifetime Achievement Award is a brother who exhibits the highest ideals of Omega's four cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. This brother should be recognized for his contributions to the fraternity at the chapter, district, and international levels for a minimum of 25 years of membership. In addition, though, consideration should be given to his impact on our society that has enhanced the welfare of mankind. Our recipient for this award is someone I know very dearly, very close to me, because in the fall of 1969, 15 other young men of like-mindedness decided that we'd be on this journey towards Omega. So his journey to this award began on the campus of Tuskegee Institute, Tuskegee University. Anthony Aiken, also known as Double A, also known as Big Geach, also known as you need an interpreter to understand what he's saying. Because when he got to Tuskegee, he didn't know the King's English, bro. He only knew Gullah. But from his experience with 15 other brothers, though, his love for Omega was never, ever waned. A brother that you could always count on. And that if you look back over his history of everything that he's ever done in life, it always brought him back to the foundation of Omega Psi Phi, his religious background, his parents. Everything he wanted to do was to be successful, but it always came back to Omega. It's always been a hard worker for Omega. It's always done everything possible for any brother at any given time. So it is befitting that a brother from small town, Charleston, South Carolina, would have the opportunity to be recognized amongst his peers and his brothers, but particularly to have two of his line brothers to be present for this three.
Yeah, I'm a line brother too.
And you need to quit. We'll see you in the cut. We have the distinct honor to present this year's Achievement of the Week Founders Lifetime Achievement Award on behalf of Eta Omega, Brother Anthony C. Aiken. My L be better than your L. Anthony C. Aiken. Okay.
Let's get in the picture.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Still tight, still tight.
One more.
All three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Good evening, everyone. As my LB stated, we met when we were 18-year-old freshmen at Tuskegee.
But my journey in Omega really started in my 8th grade. See, my father had an 8th grade education. And he said you could have mentors. And when I went into Burke High School in Charleston, South Carolina, I met Mr. Melvin T. Hodges, band director. This man was impressive. He was an Omega man. I didn't know what that meant. But there were 25 other men like him on my high school faculty. So all I saw was purple and gold, but I didn't know what it meant. But when I went to Tuskegee, and I met 15 other men with the passion. When I say passion, I meant passion. Birdman, stand up. That's number 8 on the line. LB, flip, 15 on the line. I was 14. We were thoroughly immersed. My first Eta Omega meeting was December of 1974. I met icons in the city, men that I wanted to emulate, men that I wanted to be around, because I saw those men thoroughly immersed. Now, as I stand here, I'm going to tell you, like he said, this didn't happen by myself. There were a lot of people along my path. But in 1979, when we went to the Denver conclave, I took this beautiful little lady right here with me. Brenda, would you stand up? That's my queen. There is absolutely nothing that I've accomplished in this fraternity without the pillow talk of my queen. Absolutely nothing. From the time that we brought Grand Bossless Bernal Elton Coulon to Germany in 1979, the first Grand Bossless to leave the United States to go to Theta Rho, of which I was the Bossless. But that would not have happened without the support of my queen and support of the brothers from around this country. So I stand here tonight to tell you my passion is deep. And some of you wouldn't know this, but at my last chapter meeting, I was very impassionate about this Achievement Week program. And I made a charge to every brother in that meeting, and I make a charge to every brother here tonight. For those brothers that are not here tonight, they missed something. Because you understand, 3 college students and 1 professor way back when had a dream, had a vision. And who knew at age 16 I would study protozoology at Howard University in the same hall Omega was founded. It was all around me. The osmosis of Omega Psi Phi. This young man right here, this young man, I remember him as a baby. A baby.
My baby.
Your baby. The senior. This young man right here. And I was sitting here with my wife, tears in my eyes, because I've seen the metamorphosis of this young man. This is what Omega's about. We want to infect minds of those young men behind us to replace us. Your father, look where you are. My father died in 1972, my senior year in college. And I stood up in the pulpit to eulogize my father, and I was looking to the back. Who did I see come through the door? Robert Wilson. Priceless. So as I accept this on behalf of my family, my son Anthony, my namesake, my beautiful bride, my LBs, Virgil, Nate, Sharon, all of you that come out here tonight, I said thank you. Thank you for honoring us with your attendance, but most of all, thank you thank you for being leaders in this world. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Turn my page. I'm about to get caught not turning the page again.
It's like the monster at the end of the book. Don't turn this page. Good evening. My name is Ronald Coleman, 8 Omega 2001. Tonight, our celebration takes on a deeply personal and distinguished note as we honor an individual whose commitment and leadership within the 8 Omega chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated has left an indelible mark on our hearts and within our community. It is my privilege to present our 2023 8 Omega Chapter Man of the Year Award to a man who embodies the essence of brotherhood, a true leader among us all, Brother Maurice Joseph Bodie Jr. This is a side note here, because I heard all this, my LB is better than yours. I got 4 LBs better than yours. This is the 5th Man of the Year off of my line, which we're proud of. We're extremely proud of. And the 3rd Bosses off of our line. All right. So my LBs are significantly better than yours. Before we delve into the accomplishments and significance of Brother Bodie, I extend my gratitude to each of you present here. Your support and contributions have not only uplifted the individual we honor tonight, but have also been pivotal in the achievements and success of our fraternity. Brother Bodie, an exceptional member initiated in the Omega Psi Phi fraternity through 8 Omega chapter in 2001, has exemplified the values and dedication of our fraternity. His journey within our brotherhood has been characterized by unwavering commitment, leadership, and a profound desire to serve. Throughout the years, Brother Bodie has served in numerous key roles within the 8 Omega chapter. His commitment and service on various committees, such as the Talent Hunt Chair, Keeper of Finance, Membership Selection Chair, have not only enhanced the chapter's functioning, but have also contributed significantly to our fraternity's growth. His leadership has been an inspiration to us all. Serving as Vice Bosselist and most recently leading the chapter for 2 terms as Bosselist, Brother Bodie has shown remarkable dedication, tireless effort, and an unwavering commitment to our shared goals and values. Today is with great pride and honor that we acknowledge Brother Maurice Joseph Bodie Jr., not only as my line brother and dear friend, but as an outstanding embodiment of what it truly means to be a man of Omega. His contributions have set a standard for leadership and service within our brotherhood that will resonate for years to come. Please join me in celebrating and honoring our 2023 Omega Man of the Year, Brother Maurice Joseph Bodie Jr., for his exceptional dedication and service to the Omega chapter.
Oh, 1-0-1, baby. On 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
They got a little bird in his phone. First and foremost, I give thanks to God for His continued blessings and guidance. To my family, who's sitting here with us this evening, my queen, Devna, please stand and be recognized. She doesn't like attention. To my kids and to Mom and Papa, thank you all for your support. To my LBs, the ones who tell you the truth when you need to hear it, when you don't want to hear it, and for your counsel and guidance, and just being a friend in the true essence of its meaning and definition. When I was initiated in this fraternity, there's too many brothers. I won't stand here tonight and name everybody who has made an indelible mark on me personally. But the first person I saw at a podium was Brother Herbert Chenault. In the front row, you already heard some of the names spoken this evening. Brother Dosh Jackson, Brother Moses C. Norman Sr. The examples go on, including our lifetime awardee, Brother Aiken. I thank my brothers for the honor. It means a lot coming from you. Thank you. All right, it's me again. Bear with me one moment. Now, before I begin this, I'm going to tell you now, while I've written my closing speech for this wonderful Achievement Week banquet this evening, I do like interaction. So I'm letting you know now, I expect to hear something from you as we kind of go through this. So just work with it, brother. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and distinguished guests, on behalf of Eta Omega Chapter and our dedicated Achievement Week Committee, I extend a sincere thank you for gracing us with your presence at this momentous International Achievement Week banquet. The past year has offered us reasons for celebration and areas for ongoing improvement. As the work persists in various forms, it is essential to take a moment to acknowledge the tireless efforts and accomplishments of our esteemed chapter. Allow me to express my deepest gratitude to some individuals who played pivotal roles in the achievements of this year, both directly and indirectly. First and foremost, I extend heartfelt thanks to my beautiful wife, Devna, and my children, Brennan and Allen, for their unwavering support over the past 2 years or 4.5, inclusive of my tenure as Vice Bachelor's. We are profoundly grateful for the sacrifices you made to enable me to serve as Bachelor's. I love you all dearly. Also, I extend sincere and deep gratitude to my brothers of Eta Omega Chapter for allowing me to serve as bossless. I promise I gave my very best and always kept dear old Omega and Eta Omega first. It has truly been my honor, my brothers. Now, at this time, if I may, I would like to invite brothers Robert Wilson Sr., correct? Senior. Brother Jahi Polk, and all members of the Achievement Week Committee to please stand. Please remain standing. One moment, brothers. Thank you, my brothers, for orchestrating an outstanding event that truly exceeded expectations. Thank you to our speaker, my friend and Morehouse fraternity brother, Brother Mayor Stephen Reed, for your words of wisdom shared with us this evening. If there are brothers who served as past basilae of Eta Omega Chapter, would you please stand? If there are any brothers who were served or who has served as chairs of any of our chapter committees, please stand. And then lastly, all brothers of Eta Omega Chapter that are in the room, would you please stand? You see, it is thank you, brothers. You see, it is the collective that makes us successful in our endeavors, in fulfilling our mandated programs, in executing the work of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. And it is the collective passion of each of those brothers that were standing this evening that has the impact. As we draw the curtain on this evening filled with the spirit of celebration, I cannot overlook the opportunity to extend sincere and heartfelt congratulations to Eta Omega Chapter for the myriad accomplishments this year. A standout achievement includes the honor of being recognized as back-to-back International Large Graduate Chapter of the Year. This milestone not only extends our chapter's history, but also positions us among a select few in Omega's history achieving this recognition in consecutive years. The collective efforts of our brothers as we executed mandated programs and chapter initiative has propelled Eta Omega Chapter to unparalleled recognition, including, please repeat after me, say three-time Retention Large Graduate Chapter of the Year. Say back-to-back. Back-to-back State of Georgia Large Graduate Chapter of the Year. Back-to-back. 7th District Large Chapter of the Year. And back-to-back. Yeah, say it with your chest. Back-to-back International Large Graduate Chapter of the Year. Yes. And if you would indulge this little Catholic boy for a moment. This morning, and in everything Omega men do, we begin things with prayer. and with God first. And we started our Achievement Week this morning at church. Did we not, my brothers?
Yes, sir.
And I found myself at Zion Hill Missionary Baptist Church this morning, receiving a word that I would like to share with you this evening. And I hope this resonates with you, because to me, it just struck a chord for all of the themes and messages you heard this evening, and I hope it resonates with you. So from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 10 through 14. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Brothers, let us persist in our commitment to community service and impactful work we do. Thank you all for joining us in this celebration this evening. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations to all the award recipients. May you be blessed, and I wish you all safe travels as you head home this evening. God bless and good night. And Brother Chaplain, would you please close us with a word of prayer? Oh, and one last thing as Brother Chaplain comes up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eta Omega chapter is hosting our Purple and Gold Ball across the street next week. If this was a treat for you, I promise next week will be a treat again. So just go ahead and double down. Tickets are still for sale. We accept all forms of payment. I'm passing a message from my chair with, in all sincerity, family that are with us here this evening. We would love for you to join us next week. We have a wonderful event planned to close out the celebration of our Achievement Week, both as Brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and as the Brothers of Eta Omega Chapter. Thank you.
Let us bow our heads for a word of prayer. Oh, gracious and eternal God, we're grateful. We're grateful for your presence tonight. We thank you for the recipients, oh God, that have been honored for the work they've done. We thank you for the challenges, the charge that Mayor Reed has brought to us today. We just thank you, oh God, for our leadership, the leadership that has recently served. We thank you for our Basilis. We thank you for his leadership, for his sacrifice. We thank you for the past Basili. Now, Lord, we just ask that you will continue to grow us and draw us closer to you today, oh God, as we all draw closer together. Be with us as we leave from this place. We love you. We honor you. This is our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let your hearts say together, amen. Amen. God bless you, and go in peace. Wait, before you go, I'm sorry. Omega dear, Brother Porter. Let's give it up for Brother Porter. Our brother.
I just had a left knee replaced a few months ago, and I don't like these steps. Unfortunately, none of my line brothers are here tonight. 5 of them are in heaven with the Lord, and one is in Maryland, and the other in Mount Albert in Decatur. And I don't plan to join the one in heaven anytime soon. Amen. Omega dear, we are thine own. Thou art our life, our love, our home. We'll sing thy praises far and nigh. We love Omega Psi to all thy precepts make us true. Live nobly as all real men do. Let manhood be our eternal shrine, with faith in God and heart and mind, through days of joy or years of pain, to serve the air will be our aim. And when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi through days of joy or years of pain, to serve the air will be our aim. And when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi. Hey. Woo.